Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to review the Hamilton Khaki Scuba, and this is a watch that I've wanted to get my hands on for a while, and I think there's some very solid things about the watch, things that I enjoy, and there's also some, I think, missed opportunities on the part of Hamilton. They could have created a better product for us consumers, but we'll get into all those details. Before I jump into the specs and all that stuff, I want to say that this was lent in by Mimo's Jewelry. They are an authorized dealer for Hamilton and for some other brands, and Mimo is awesome. He's lent in a ton of watches for me to feature in the past. So if you guys are interested in this or any other Hamilton or Seiko or Alpina, in the description there will be a link to his website as well as some discount codes. So now let's jump into the review of this Khaki Scuba. I'll put some dimensions here on the screen. I like the dimensions and I like the weight and the presence of the watch. You can see it's got sharp finishing, the brushing is nice, the beveled polished areas of the center links on the bracelet look really good, they grab light, and overall I think it's attractive and it's original, so it definitely has some strong things going for it when it comes to the presence here and the execution. If we go in on a macro level and take a look at the dial, you can see a nice flat black dial with applied markers. You can see this is part of the Khaki line, and I like the fact that they put the 24-hour indexing inside of those applied markers, and I like the pop of red on the seconds hand. The applied H logo below the 12 o'clock position is a nice touch, and because Hamilton has placed the date between the 4 and 5 o'clock positions, the watch is able to achieve a sense of balance and symmetry that I find enjoyable, and it is very easy to read at a glance. Now, let's take a look at the lume here. I'll give you a lume shot. Hamilton has stepped up their game a little bit to the next level. You can see a more potent application of Superluminova. It appears to be BGW9, which is nice because Hamilton generally lacks in the lume department, but you can see this is a slight step up from previous generations of their watches and their divers. Now, zooming out, let's talk about some of the negative aspects or aspects that I think Hamilton could improve in the future for us consumers. Now, the big one is going to be the bezel for me. Let me give you the sense of the action. It's a little bit hard to turn, hard to grip, and it is super loud. I'd say it's got to be the loudest bezel that I've ever tried. It's 60 click, there is a little bit of play, the grip is a little difficult, and you'll notice the aluminum insert does not carry a lumed pip for the index, so this will not meet the requirements to be an ISO 6425 compliant diver. So it is a dive watch, but it's not really a dive watch. You have 100 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown at the 3 o'clock position, but again, non-ISO 6425 compliant. The crystal is sapphire. It's ever so slightly domed. Hamilton says they put a layer of anti-reflective treatment on the underside, but I've got quite a bit of glare and reflections. I don't know if that statement is accurate. Now let's talk about the movement. This is something that I enjoy about the watch. This is the H10 caliber, which is a modified ETA 2824, and they modify it by changing the balance. It's now a free sprung balance wheel, and they put a higher quality mainspring in this. So Hamilton is able to achieve an 80-hour power reserve on a beat frequency of 3 Hertz. So it's a pretty solid movement, and I would say probably a step above the competition at its price point. It's something that I like about this. Now, another thing I like is the clasp. It's nice and substantial. You've got chamfered polished edges, milled out section that's signed, and overall there's quite a bit of steel and heft to the watch, and the finishing is sharp. Again, the presence is sharp, the legibility is here, the movement is nice, but it does kind of lack in a couple departments, mainly the bezel action, the clarity of the crystal, and I think the luminescence could be improved a little bit, although I do have to recognize they have taken the next step. So all in all, I think it's a solid offering. I think it will make a very good daily wear watch, not necessarily a great dive watch, but a good watch to use on a day-to-day basis. Keep in mind, this is not part of a dive watch series. It's part of the Khaki line, or their field military line. So big thank you to Mimo for lending this in. Again, there is a link in the description to his website. He is an authorized dealer, and there are some nice discount codes that bring the price down to right around $560 US. So reach out with any questions you may have. Thank you for taking the time to watch today, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.